advertisement, or eyesore? You decide. Hello everyone, Artemir the Violet Wizard here, and today we're continuing Bugsnax. Last time we got a small taste of what was added in the Bigsnax update with our brand new house, as well as the mail system, giving us access to a ton of new missions that greatly expand upon the base game of Bugsnax. However, that's just small potatoes compared to what we are going to be doing today. Oh. Hello, Wiggle. It's always nice to see you in all your magnificence. But yeah, today is a very, very important day here on Snaktooth Island, because we are going to officially dive into what is widely considered the main draw of this new update to Bugsnax. Let's go right into it and talk to Snorpy.
I need your help with a matter of grave importance. You see, my seismic readings have been off the charts today, and I fear something terrible is happening just off the coast. Chandler and I are headed to Simmering Springs to investigate, and I'd be greatly reassured if you could join us.
Man, Wiggle is just really soaking in the spotlight at the moment. Sure, let's go.
Splendid! Meet us there whenever you get the chance. In the meantime, we have preparations to make. Chandler, ready the sunscreen!
We definitely have a lot of stuff to get ready here. So yeah, all we need to do in order to initiate the next big update in the game is to go to Simmering Springs. I guess I could say, just before we get started on this, I was doing a few more of the mail missions before this stream today, just so I could get properly just all ready to get started on this update, and it's been just a blast again, because this game is amazing. It's been so easy just for me to get back into the groove of things, because I've definitely been playing a lot of other stuff in the meantime between stream sessions. Yeah, we got ourselves quite a big update here, as we are going to see going forward. Now that we're in Simmering Springs, we can see Snorpy and Chandler are waiting for us. Let's go talk to the best boys.
Oh, yeah! I always wanted to have a beach party. Need me to sunscreen your back, Snorp Dog?
No need, Chandler. I'm well protected. I can tolerate the horrible sun for at least a few minutes.
You sure? I could check if you missed a spot.
Best to keep our wits about us. This seismic event could happen any moment.
Gods, they're still so gay.
They're not usually this intense.
An anomaly, to be sure, but it ended surprisingly quick.
Well, that just happened.
It's a new island, dog! We gotta go over there!
Must we? Yes, of course. But surely this job is bigger than the three of us. We need to form a miniature expedition. A gathering of our finest scientific minds. Of course, that means Triffany and Floofty.
Ooh, get Shelda, too!
Shelda? Well, she's hardly qualified.
You said you want the finest minds, and Shelda's loaded with wisdom. Bam! Team assembled!
I suppose she is an herbalist, and the closest thing we have to a doctor without Eggabell around. Very well, tell Triffany, Floofty, and Shelda to come to the beach. Chandler and I will stay here to prepare a way across.
Get hype!
Things are already off to a great start just with the interactions between these two again. Just want to reiterate, all this stuff canonically happens before the celebration and before the end game, which means these two aren't officially a couple yet, which is a shame, but don't worry, they'll eventually get there in the story. So yep, our new mission is to assemble Triffany, Floofty, and Shelda in order to help investigate this brand new island that appeared. It's so intriguing. What could be going on over there? Let's just hope this island isn't on the back of a giant turtle or anything. I watched Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Man, town is just looking so weird now with all these Kromdomar posters. That was actually one of the mail missions that we have available to us, so just a fun little thing we could do. Hello, Tiffany, you're looking, well, you as always. Do you want to join our expedition?
Oh, you better believe I do. Islands don't just pop into being every day, you know. I got no business left here, so I'll go on ahead and meet you on the beach.
And it's actually kind of funny considering the last game I streamed before this was Link's Awakening, which also had a mysterious island. Alright, but let's go talk to Floofty now.
So an unknown piece of geography has erupted from the ocean, unexplained and unstable, likely to sink again at any moment. So of course I'm going. I will gather my equipment.
Well, they seem enthusiastic about it. And now it's time for our resident guru, Shelda, who is looking just as, well, as usual as she tends to be. You want to join our expedition?
You're asking me? Well, of course. Your need for guidance is great. Despite the peril, one will show you the path. And that scary little island. If it's what I think it is, there's something there I need to see.
Ooh, intriguing. Right off the bat, I am loving the cast that is being assembled for this expedition. Especially because we really didn't get to see too much of Floofty and Shelda in the main game, so this is definitely a worthwhile motley crew we're assembling. A lot of good personalities coming together for this mission. So now we just need to return to Simmering Springs in order to initiate the expedition. Well, they got a boat ready for us and everything. Everybody's ready for the expedition.
So soon? We're not quite ready. We could use another few days of assessment.
What are you talking about, Snorp Dog? We got the raft ready in record time. Let's go get everybody.
Of course, Chandlo.
Here we go.
I'm here and ready to explore. Ooh, nice work on that raft there, Chandlo.
Thanks, Brophany.
Indeed. If it is not more than a finely crafted tomb for the foolish wanderers.
Of course Snorpington can get volunteers. But it seems a vagrant has wandered into our expedition. Snacksburg is that way, Shelda.
Be still your wicked tongue. One must show respect to one's elders.
I will respect you as soon as you do something respectable.
Oh, snap!
Oh, you think so highly of yourself that you alone are they who can know the unknowable? No! You bring ruin to all that you touch. Ruin to Eggabell. Ruin to Elizabeth. Ruin to your own flesh and blood.
I'm starting to think this might not have been the best idea. You know, 6 folks is a lot for one raft. Maybe one of us ought to stay back home?
Which one?
We're all going. Me and Snorpy can hold it together.
Actually, Chandlo, well, I was thinking you and I should stay here and supervise.
What? Bro, why'd I build all this stuff if we're not going? Don't you want to know what's on the new island?
Well, of course I do, but look at that thing. That island is a death trap.
Come on, Snorp Dog. It's probably fine. Look, I gotta go out there. They need me.
Yes, somebody needs to carry this septuagenarian.
Shut it. You can go if you must, Chandlo, but I'm staying here.
But bro, we do everything together. What if something happens to you while I'm gone?
Me? Well, I'll be on this lovely beach. What if something happens to you?
Yes, you can both be struck by a meteor at any moment. Honestly, they do this every time Chandlo goes to check the mail. Can we stop wasting time and get on with this expedition before I'm as old as Shelda?
You two are like mirrors, reflecting endlessly. One must look away from the infinite abyss and gaze down only at oneself.
What?
Far be it for me to give anyone life advice, but there's nothing wrong with a little time apart. It's healthy, even.
She would know about
Alright.
that.
If you all say so.
Don't worry, I'll be in radio contact the entire time. And I've got trackers on at least 3 of you.
Right. Okay. Then let's get this party started!
Ooh.
Bro, I'll let you do the honors. Just jump on the raft when you're ready.
That cutscene alone just really sold it to me how amazing this new chapter in the story is gonna be. Just all these personalities interacting with each other, getting to see so much of these characters together, especially since they didn't really get too much focus during the main story. Oh, it's so good! I love it so much! Alright, let's go check in with
As
everybody.
usual, it is up to me to do a majority of the heavy thinking around here. Let us not be distracted by interpersonal dramatics when a cacophony of scientific curiosities has been dropped in our laps.
Well said.
This group is a little, volatile, but I'm sure we can put our differences aside for the sake of learning. Yeah?
Volatile is not the adjective I'd use to describe this, Trip.
If one is fated to brave a den of inevitable tragedy, one would prefer to do so in better company.
Yeah, you can't look a gift. What am I trying to say? You can't look a gift Grumpus in the mouth there, Shelda.
Oh, it's okay, Chandlo. Snorpy's gonna be fine. Time apart is healthy.
Don't worry, bud. He can handle himself. I know from experience.
All right, chum, if worst comes to worst and you're surrounded by Grumpinati agents, shout the code word and I will set off a flashbang hidden somewhere on your body. Don't worry, it should be perfectly safe as long as you don't say the code word at any other time. Good luck!
That's concerning for a number of reasons. Alright, let us hop on the raft and go to Broken Tooth, our new destination, and the site of the bulk of the content we can expect to see in the Bigsnax update. It's so exciting getting to experience this all again. I hope you're all as excited for this as I am, cause goddamn, I loved this update when it first came out, and I am excited to get to experience it all over again. So we made it to Broken Tooth.
All right, Snorp Dog. We made it to the other island. We found some kind of reef cove thing to land on.
Chandlo, listen to me, it's very important. You need to understand that remote detonator.
Snorpy! Oh, Grump, the radio's broken.
No, I think we're just out of range. Or there could be some interference going on.
Oh, how unfortunate. I suppose we will have to proceed without Snorpington's so-called supervision.
But maybe we should go back and tell him? It'll only take an hour.
The threshold is crossed. It cannot be uncrossed. And if you think I'm spending another minute on that plank of wood today, you are dead wrong.
Yeah, you're always right, Shelda. Snorpy knows we got this. He'd want us to keep exploring. Huh. Looks like there's a way across up there. Let's check it out, bro.
So now we have to light the way. I must say right off the bat, just the look of Broken Tooth is very distinct compared to what we saw back on Snaktooth. Just all these coral formations, and just, it looks so amazing.
Despite one's years, there ever remains a sense of humbling beauty where sand meets sea, and not a toxin in sight.
I do quite like the beach as well, Shelda. It is a very nice view.
These coral structures are the only animal species I've witnessed anywhere near the Snaktooth biosphere. Intriguing.
Well, we all know what happened to all the other animals back on Snaktooth. They all became Bugsnax.
2 steps onto this island and I'm already seeing evidence of ancient Grumpus technology. Oh, this trip is definitely gonna be worth it.
You don't know the half of it, Triff. Let's hop up these coral steps. Very nicely form some stairs for us.
I bet Snorpy's trip shot could do it.
Yeah, we've had plenty experience with this before at transferring fire.
Nice. Last one across is a rotten eggler.
I don't know, I like eggs. Let's move forward here. And what do we have here?
Well, would you look at that? Some kind of ancient maze carving with moving parts and everything.
Well, whoever built it put it directly in our way. Chandlo, you excel in brute force. Destroy this.
You got it, Floof Dog.
Call me Floof Dog again and see what happens.
Now, hold on there. Let's not go smashing the priceless antiques just yet. Looks like you could fit your buggy ball down there in the entrance. I bet if we solve this maze, something real interesting is gonna happen.
You definitely expect that.
That's odd. Somehow big puzzles didn't make it into the stories. But what a wonder it is to behold the divine workings of one's ancestors.
Yes, how impressive. Some very dead Grumpuses figured out how to move rocks up and down. Please solve this so that we can find something interesting.
Whoa. This thing's like a super huge old pinball machine. Dibs on the next game, bro.
We'll see about that, Chandlo.
Gosh, this thing's been waterlogged for 1,000 years and somehow the parts are all still moving. Wish my husband was that reliable.
Oh, damn. Yeah, we got ourselves a little puzzle here that involves our buggy ball, which is very nice. I definitely like the addition of more buggy ball puzzles, as Sprout has been very handy to us all throughout our adventure. So getting to use him in this context is very exciting. A lot of cool stuff they introduce here that use the buggy ball.
Mechanism still works after all this time? Not to mention the water damage. If that's just the door, who knows what historical goodies we'll find inside there?
So we were certainly amazed by that. Let us press onward. Wow, what a view.
Whoa! It's a jungle out there!
Oh, goodness. To think that this whole valley was underwater not that long ago. I can even see evidence of civilization from who knows when. Oh, check out that impressive-looking temple up there.
One is more concerned with the ominous crater that lies beneath.
If my eyes do not deceive me, I believe I've spotted new varieties of Bugsnax as well.
New Bugsnax? Sick! Think they could be dangerous?
There's an easy way to find out.
Well, before we get too ahead of ourselves, we might want to set up a base camp.
A wonderful idea. One could use time to recenter.
5 minutes in, and you already need a nap. Leave the labor to the productive members of society, then.
Oh, please don't start this again.
Bros! Come check this out! You seeing what I'm seeing? It's bunger time!
Excellent. Why don't you go and fetch it for us, Chandlo?
Way ahead of you, dog!
Oh, dear. You better go follow and help him out. We'll stay up here and start setting up camp.
You can't say he's not enthusiastic. Yep, Broken Tooth is definitely full of a lot of exciting things for us. A brand new, big, sprawling map for us to explore with new varieties of Bugsnax. Bunger Royale. It's a bunger, but big. There's always a bigger bunger. Definitely like that quote. How's everyone feeling about this new experience?
One wonders at every second what revelation this accursed land could possibly contain that would be worth suffering a mere 10 minutes with Floofty. Not a grumpin' thing, that's what.
I definitely love all of Shelda's new voice lines. They're so damn good.
Gosh, from the moment they met, Floofty and Shelda sure have hated each other. As I recall, Shelda said, "Greetings, child." And Floofty said, "It is unlikely we are related by blood. Therefore, I am not your child." And things kind of escalated from there.
No kidding.
If what Shelda has to say is so monumentally important, then why does she waste time making her speech so farcically obtuse? Employing sesquipedalian jargon is rudimentary. The hard part is make brain no big think.
Okay, let's go see how Chandler is doing with his bunger scenario here. And that is definitely a supersized meal.
Wait, is it just me? Or is that bunger way bigger than normal?
Touchdown! Yeah, definitely like the look of this big bunger. Just the way it looks with the tater tot legs and tusks, and if you can look closely on top, it's actually got a pretzel bun, which are freaking delicious. I've had experience with pretzel burgers before, and they are so good. Let's go check up on our boy.
Ooh, ow! My muscles and my bones! Where am I? I hit some kind of statue room? Looks like she's holding a thing. I don't know what that is, but try throwing it at the big bunger. Maybe that'll do something.
We can certainly try. We got these jars of something, and they're very volatile, as you can see from that countdown. So let's go ahead and throw it at the bunger.
It stopped being big! I bet it's small enough to catch now!
That is certainly an observation to make. So let's set up our snack trap here. Set up our trip shot and lure this guy over to stun him. And with that, we catch the Bunger Royale. The first of many new snacks that can be discovered on the island.
Alright, bro. You got bunger, I got hunger. Now bunger me, bro!
Sure fin, bro. Let's feed you a nice big snack here. Sorry, watermelon head.
Yeah. So good! That's a whole meal in one bite! We gotta tell the others about this. Plus, I should probably help unpack. Did you all see that? Giant Bugsnax! Even the bungers out here are as big as Mama Melon!
Gosh, we might be witnessing a prehistoric species somehow preserved at the bottom of the ocean.
Aha! That would align with my theory on the correlation between age and size.
The lost sister of Snaktooth lies unburied. Yet you marvel at the engorgement of the toxins that dance on her grave.
The lost what now?
Tell me, Chenlo, how did you come to capture this specimen?
We found a jar of some kind of small dust. It came out of this old lady statue thing.
A statue, eh? What did it look like?
Like a big friendly Grumpus lady with flowers all around her.
No.
That sounds like it could be a shrine to Mother Nature.
Whoa. Shelda, that's your thing.
No, 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 no.
Ah, but why would Mother Nature, noted despiser of Bugsnax, be dispensing Bugsnax catching equipment? Shelda, your god is a hypocrite.
Silence, you wretch! The mother guides, the mother protects. If you so doubt, then one will wield the light of truth against your blasphemy.
Okay, then. I guess Shelda's gonna go check out those shrines. Meanwhile, I gotta go take a look at all the ruins around here. There's so much ancient history to uncover. I'm giddy just thinking about it.
I am fascinated by this shrink spice and its effects on snack matter. If I can determine exactly what it's made of, I'm certain we will have much use for it.
Alright, bros. I know I'm not a scientist, but I got a hypothesis. If this island can make Big Bunger, can it make Big Chandlo?
That's not what a hypothesis is. Honestly, what does my brother see in you?
A lot,
Oh,
apparently.
hush. I'm sure it's worth a try. Well then, let's get to it.
So from here on out, we are able to tackle missions from all 4 of the Grumpuses accompanying us here on the island. Triffany, Floofty, Chandlo, and Shelda all have quests that will enable us to explore the island of Broken Tooth, catch the various Bugsnax here, and affect much of the environment. So let us get started on one of these missions. I'm gonna start with the Grumpus that I started this with in my personal playthrough before, and that is Triffany. What do you want to investigate?
Oh, thank goodness you're here. I'd say it's high time we get to exploring. I see another maze blocking the way deeper into the jungle. I bet if we solve it, we'll find something real exciting. I'll go ahead and make my way over to the maze. Meet me there when you're ready for some puzzling.
Sure thing, Triffany. So we could technically trigger all the missions right away, but I want to go through them one at a time, just so that we don't have to worry too much about deciding which missions to undertake here.
Seems like this is as far as I can go. I wonder if there's a way to get rid of this wall.
Well, it's certainly a big obstacle here. Should find a way to crack it. We can see some indents that our buggy ball would fit, so let's put our little pal in there.
Whoa! That was a close call. I gotta be honest. In all my years of archaeology, that was my first run-in with a giant rolling ball.
Said we got ourselves kind of an Indiana Jones reference here. Shedorb. The nightmare of every archaeologist. It's a giant cheese ball that is gonna roll all around the island. I definitely like this guy. It's got a funky design to it. So up here we got a few other Bugsnax around here. Millie Mochi. It travels in a line with its friends, leaping at and freezing anything that crosses its path. So yeah, this thing is technically 3 Bugsnax in one, kind of like the Sandaties that we saw much earlier on in Snaktooth. And of course, they are covered in ice. So if we're gonna catch this guy, we need to find a way to extinguish its icy aura. And up here in the trees, we can see that there is a Spagiter. Pulls its prey into the canopy with its noodles. We'll be catching that guy much later on, don't you worry. And up here, just where we can see our friend Triffany, there's this big guy flying all around the map. A Tikata Masala patrols the area around its nest, keeping a lookout for Eggler shells. I love the list of things that it hates that you can see on the screen. It hates Egglers, another egg fiend Bugsnax that we haven't seen yet, and Eggabell. So yeah, that is definitely a fun one we're going to have to catch eventually. As you can see here, there are a whole bunch of these Mother Nature statues all around the island, and they are all holding jars of shrink spice, which we'll be using to shrink any of the Bugsnax that are in this area. Yeah, as you can no doubt tell, the main gimmick of this area is that all the Bugsnax to be found on Broken Tooth are gigantic. None of your traps will be able to catch these things unless you're able to shrink them down first. So yeah, it's definitely a process to catch these guys compared to what it's like in the base game. Just gonna let that guy roll around. We don't need to deal with you just yet. So in here in this maze, we can see there's another new Bugsnax, a Chocolant. Grows when exposed to the open air. It likes to play keep away with its fellow Chocolants. So yeah, that's definitely a cute little guy. It's an ant made out of chocolate chips. Definitely a cute one.
Kinda nice to be away from the others for a minute. The arguing can be, distracting, you know?
Trouble with Shelda?
Oh, well, I think Shelda's got a lot to teach us. It's just exhausting to get a real answer out of her. Then she can be, tad judgmental. Gosh, I don't know. I feel like I ought to be taking more of a leadership role out here. But I do all my best work when I'm alone. But why talk about all that unpleasantness when we could be neck deep in some dusty corpses? The maze is right there.
It's definitely a way to put it, Triffany. So let's get started on this puzzle. It's much like the maze puzzle we saw before, only this time we have a Chocolant here. As you could probably guess, if the Chocolant sees our buddy Sprout, then it will drag him away to a different part of the maze, which can mess you up in a few ways if you're trying to navigate this area. Just move you over here, and we should be just about done the puzzle.
We hit the archaeological jackpot! Let's go inside, scan around, and see just what kind of ruin this is.
That'll definitely be fun to do. So in here in the ruins, we have a new Bugsnax already here for us. Pylobite. Its protective cover deflects shrink spice. The snack grappler would help to remove it. So yeah, we got a big pecan pie that has a covering preventing you from actually shrinking it. You can probably guess how we are going to deal with this, fellow. Though we don't need to worry about that at the moment.
There's plenty to investigate in this here ruin. Scan around and see what kind of clues you can find.
Sure thing, Triff. Let's go check everything we can in here. There's a destroyed door. A cave-in has sealed the chamber beyond here. So over here, communal beds, recesses where large numbers of Grumpuses slept. A large bonfire. This huge fire must have kept the cave system warm. And a carved pillar. This pillar seems to represent leaders of the past. Ow! Hey. It's the first time a pie has really disagreed with me. And we got the ancient flares, of course, which we're gonna need to find a way to transfer heat into this area.
Judging by what we've seen, I'd say this was a communal living space. One of the few that wasn't utterly destroyed anyway. And gosh, technology and culture are so much more advanced than what we've seen so far. This city must have been the center of Stone Grumpus society. And at the very center, the temple, possibly led by a priestess of Mother Nature.
Why the mazes?
That's a great question. There's definitely easier ways to lock a door. But seeing as this was the height of their craftsmanship, it's possible they built those mazes just to show off.
That's certainly a theory there. Tell me about Mother Nature.
I don't know too much, but I'll say it's one of the world's oldest practicing religions. I'm sure Shelda could tell you more about it. But on that subject, it's odd I never saw hide nor hair of Mother Nature back on Snaktooth. It's possible she showed up relatively late in their culture, adding to the existing worship of Bugsnax.
Man, all this lore and world building we're getting from this update. It's so good at adding some more context into the base story. Should we explore the temple?
I thought you'd never ask. Never look a gift temple in the gateway, as Grandma used to say. I'll meet you by the entrance, yeah?
Sure thing. Now there is something else we can do in these ruins but we're gonna leave that for later, as we have some other missions to do here. So going forward, we got this area here with a brand new Bugsnax for us, Celesticks. So big and unknowingly carries smaller Bugsnax on its back. Yeah, it's nice to see a big ol' celery monster here. I'm not that big of a fan of celery anymore, but it is at least a somewhat healthy vegetable. Definitely a lot of things here want to go check. So look here, there's some little pieces here. A cheesy glob. This pile of cheese and noodle bits, evidence of a Bugsnax. It appears to have left the immediate area, but is still nearby. So there's another Bugsnax in this area. And there's a trampoline here. An ancient ancestor to the lunch pad, with less control but more bounce. There's nothing we can do with this trampoline in its current state, but we'll want to remember that for later. And there's another Spagiter up here, but this one's carrying a giant eggler shell. An eggshell far too big to carry, and tough enough to protect from other Bugsnax. There must be a way to crack it open. We'll focus on that a little bit later. Let's pull that down, opening the way from us forward.
Remind me to ask Snorpy for one of those grapplers.
Sure thing there. And we have a new Bugsnax here already, Clobsteroni. Strong enough to lift other Bugsnax, as well as its beloved trampoline. Sierra, you remember that trampoline we saw earlier? This guy is related to that. We'll be seeing a bit more of that in the future. We're here. How do we open the temple?
Oh, hey! You can see the camp from up here. At a nice, safe distance. Anywho, there should be a mechanism here that'll get us through that door. Might be a bit of a jog, though.
Yes, indeed. We got another Millimochi here, which, given the torch here, should be pretty easy to extinguish that guy. Don't need to catch you at the moment. We want to align our trip shot so that we light up this brazier. And that opens the way into the temple.
Way to go! That was some fancy footwork. Oh, wow. Okay, this time the ancient architects were definitely showing off. But you know, this ludicrously complex maze tells me that whatever's in the temple beyond is just that important. So you know the drill. Let's get to solving.
We have a mammoth of a puzzle here going forward. And obviously for this one, we're going to need to use our pal Sprout. Come on, bud. If only Gramble could see just how important you are in our journey here to complete all these puzzles on Broken Tooth. Guess while we're going through this maze, since we don't have too much else to talk about outside of this, guess some of the stuff I could talk about some of the things that have been going on in my life lately. So besides getting to play some more Bugsnax in order to prepare for this stream session and to get really invested in what we are going to be doing here on Broken Tooth, I have been focusing on replaying one of my all-time favorite games I've been meaning to replay for quite a while now, which is Hollow Knight. Because, man, I have really wanted to replay this game for so long, and I've been having a really good time playing through the game again. It's still as great as I remember, if not better than I remembered it being. And getting to experience again has been really good, especially getting to play it with a lot more experience than when I initially played it, because it's definitely kind of tough to get used to what with me kind of having a little bit of a stigma against those kind of Souls-based games where death is a very big penalty for you and you miss out on... Oh, come on there, Sprout. You really messed that up. Yeah, those kind of deaths where... Those games where dying has a very big penalty for you. Especially in the case of something like that where you lose out on some of the game's currency and whatnot should you die. But for a game like Hollow Knight, it definitely doesn't feel too overbearing at points. Like, it's the kind of game where you can easily... what I want to say here... The mechanics of the game make those kind of death penalties not that big of a deal. So for the most part... Ow, come on there. Sprout, we can do this. Because for the most part, getting around the maps in Hollow Knight really aren't that bad, all things considered, and the mechanics of the game make it so that it is just a breeze to get through certain sections of the game, especially with the Metroid inspiration.
You know, it took all my willpower not to just jump in and do it myself. Anywho, the way is open, so let's get going.
But yeah, one of the other reasons I've been playing through Hollow Knight again is because I am planning to eventually stream it, but it's not going to be happening anytime soon. I have some other plans for what we're going to be doing in the future, and I would very much like to get started on streaming that when I'm a little bit more experienced and feel like I'll be able to present a good enough playthrough of the game. But for the most part, with my experiences with the game recently, I definitely feel it's going to be happening a lot sooner than we'll expect, but I have some other plans for the future, so we'll wait before getting started on that.
Well, that's a kick in the teeth. So much for seeing the temple. Judging by the bodies, this collapse must have happened when folks were still living here. Maybe the crater is connected somehow. Come to think of it, we didn't find a single corpse back in the commune. Where'd all those Grumpuses get to? Well then, I'm not about to let this mystery go unsolved. I've just gotta roll up my sleeves and clear this rubble myself.
Shouldn't we ask the others for help?
Oh, no, we don't need to trouble everybody with all this. I know my way around ruins. I'll be just fine on my own. You just leave this to me. Go on about your day, and I'll have it done in a jiff, okay?
Okay, so I guess we will leave you to it. So from here on out, we are going to need to wait a day for Triffany to move forward in her quest. This unfortunate corpse seems to have been crushed by falling boulders thousands of years ago. It has a lot of death here. Makes you wonder what actually happened here. So yeah, we are all done with Triffany's quest for the time being. We're not entirely done here, but we just need to wait a while in order for her to actually progress in this mission. So, in the meantime, how about we head back to town and, head back into the... So we're gonna head back to the campsite and get started on another Grumpuses quest while we wait for Triffany to do her stuff. So the next Grumpus I want to talk to... At this point, since we have access to most of the things we can do for this one, let's go talk to Bro Chandlo! What do you want to investigate, bro?
Bro, I gotta see if eating these big Bugsnax will make me Big Chandlo. I saw this huge snack lifting stuff near the river. Big lifting? You know I gotta get me some of that.
Sure thing, bro. So we gotta catch a Clobsteroni for Chandlo. And if you're wondering why we specifically need to catch one of these guys for Chandlo, it's because these guys like to carry trampolines. Specifically, these trampolines give you so much airtime around here. In fact, I want to try to hop up here if we can. Yeah. So I want to get up here so that we can set up this. Just want to solve that puzzle, getting this ramp down for us, so that we can access some more of the map over here. And just want to quickly go up here so that I can remove this wall. And that leads back into the temple area. So at this point, we have exposed ourselves to much of the island at this point. Alright, now that we have that, let us go see what we can do for this Clubsteroni. So we have another one back there, but let's focus on this one for the time being. This one could be a little tricky because it's carrying the trampoline, and that could knock the shrink spice away from the Bugsnax. Let's see if we can get this done. Just want to be careful about this. Throw it like directly in the path of the Bugsnax to get it there. And want to lure this guy in with some cheese. Come here. And there we go. We got one Clubsteroni. I really like the design of this guy. The way they merge like different kinds of pasta together into the shape of a lobster. It's a very good design. Definitely the ones I was excited to see from the trailers of this game. Alright, let's get feeding, bro.
Clubs?
Alright, let's merge one of your arms with the pasta.
Oh, yeah! I can feel the lifting energy inside me. But I didn't get bigger at all. I guess I didn't get huge eating that big bunger either. You know what, bro? I'm just gonna admit to myself that it's not gonna work and move on. Guess that means my investigation's over already. What do I do now?
Challenge all the Bugsnax to fight!
Bro, if I can't handle Big Bunger, I don't stand a chance against the rest. Goals for the future, maybe.
You could help the others investigate.
I'm already helping where I can, bro. But I'm not a scientist. Floofty said if I touched their lab again, they'd give me an excoriating worthy of my fatuity.
That's fair. You can just sit back and relax then.
Relax, huh? I guess it's been a while since I just chilled. I've been so busy, fixing up Snacksburg, training, life coaching, and, you know, I've always got to take care of Snorpy. What the grump? Let's hang! We ought to shoot some hoops!
Let's shoot hoops.
All right! Hoops, 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 hoops,
Hoops, hoops, hoops, hoops!
You know the rules, dog. We're gonna take turns shooting hoops. First one to make 5 baskets wins. Go ahead and shoot your first shot.
Sure thing, Chandler. Let's get started. This works basically the same as what you would expect. You just throw the basketballs in order to score points.
Grump, I missed.
Nice try, bro. Whoop.
My turn.
Failed.
Ow.
Sorry,
My
bud.
turn. Grump, I missed.
So I believe you don't need to wait around for Chandler to make your shots. You can just do this without having to worry about the turn order. But I want to at least do things fair for Chandler. I mean, we've already messed up a few times. Let's give him some chances to redeem himself here. Come on. Let's throw you in. There we go.
Points, dog. My turn.
So I've never been much of a basketball fan myself as a kid. It's always one of those activities I never really enjoyed back during PE days at school. Man, Chandler has really not been doing too good.
Nice, 1 point.
Well, I guess I'm eating crow.
Whoa, 5 points.
There we go.
You won, dog. I didn't know you were such a baller. We gotta have a rematch sometime.
That was very fun, bro.
Thanks for playing with me, bro. Now that we're done hanging, I gotta get back to Snacksburg. I gotta go check on Snorpy.
Snorpy's doing fine on the beach.
Sure about that, dog? One time I saw Snorpy lose a fight with a crapple. But that's not the point. Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. This is the longest I've been away from Snorpy in years. And he's not okay without me. How about this? I'm gonna need some big energy for the trip back. You get me 2 of the biggest, strongest Bugsnax on this island, and I'll stick around till I'm fueled up.
Sure thing, Chandlo. Before we get started on this, how about we snack experiment with you? Just want to even things out with the design here that we're going with. So I'll give you some Clobster paws there. And I guess for your top of you, just want to even you a bit more, give you another Baja Cockroach horn. Yeah, that should do it. Alright, so we got some new missions. This time we're going to catch some Bugsnax that we have previously seen. The Pilobite and the Celesticks. Let's go get started on the Pilobite since that's the closest one to our current position. So as we alluded to, we need to catch this guy with the Snack Grappler, as he has a shell on him that is preventing us from lobbing Shrink Spice. Just want to hit him several times with this, as he has 4 tabs that need to be pulled off. Yeah, this guy is quite fast. He's gonna run all around the island when you pull off a tab. So you have to chase this guy down every time you pull one. It can be a little obnoxious to chase this guy around, but it's not that bad of a mission. Alright, we got one more to do. This guy's heading up here now. You can't outrun me, dog! The streets will run red with pecans! Now he's up here with the Celesticks, which is fine by me. We need to come up here anyway. Let's pull that tab. So now our little Pilobite here is now fully exposed. So now we just need to get some Shrink Spice for you. There is some Shrink Spice over there, but it's gonna take a little while to... you know what? We might as well do this now. So we're gonna get that Shrink Spice. We're gonna need to open up the path there. So what we need to do first is get this Clobsteroni over here. Thanks to our pal Sprout, we can lure this guy over. And we want to bring the Clobsteroni over to where we saw that trampoline. As we saw from the previous Clobsteroni, we saw that these guys like to carry trampolines. Let's bring you over here. And he is now carrying the trampoline with him. So now this guy will start walking around this area with the trampoline, and we can use him to jump up here. Whew, that was some good air time. Trampolines are definitely better than the launch pad for launching you. And by doing that, we are now able to have that bridge so that we can come up here whenever we need to. More importantly, we got the Shrink Spice we need. So let us shrink this guy. This guy's already stunned, so let's shrink you down and catch you for later. So I'm probably going to make a point to feed Triffany some of these spare Bugsnax we catch around here, just because she really doesn't have any missions that require feeding her Bugsnax while we're here, so I want to make it a point to at least give her something before the end of this journey, you know? We got to make her feel as big of a part of this as everyone else. So let's set our trip shot here for the Pilobite. He really doesn't have any likes when it comes to sauces. We just need to wait for him to get in the way of the trap. And that's how we catch a Pilobite. So yeah, definitely a process to catch that guy. Definitely a lot of requirements in order to get to him. Alright, but now we have access to the Shrink Spice. let's go over to the Celesticks and throw you. And once you know it, that guy had chocolate stuck to him. Alright, so now that we got this guy, let's set up some peanut butter to lure you in. And we got you in our trap. So that is all the Bugsnax that Chandler wanted us to catch. Let's head back to the base camp and feed them to our bro. How is Triffany making in her mission? Just want to check this. Okay, we can check on her now. So after we're done with Chandler, we'll go speak with her. Yep, already we're making some good progress in catching the Bugsnax for this area. So we can actually check the Bugapedia. We can see all of the Bugsnax that can be caught in this area. There's only 11 new ones, but they definitely make up for it in terms of personality and designs, obviously. Yeah, a lot of cool designs we got here. Alright, bro, it's feeding time. Let's start with the Celesticks. Also, I like the way this thing moves. It's actually moving like the stick bug meme, if you know about that, which, oh god. That is definitely a thing to reference. And let's give you some Pilobite feet. Oh, that gives you some pecan feet.
I think I ate too much. So good, though. No regrets. Hey, while you were out there, I've been thinking. Before I go, I need some major guidance. Normally, there's stuff I can't talk about, because Snorpy's always listening in. So, if not now, when?
Let's get you some guidance, bro.
Alright, Shelda's waiting. Hey, Sheldog, can I get some of your wisdom?
Always, my child.
I'm worried about Snorpy.
Once more shall you be reminded. Snorpy is safer than we, Chandler. Ease your burden.
That's not what I mean. I'm worried about the way he's been. All the paranoid stuff, the anxiety. I thought bringing Snorpy out here, out into nature, it might mellow him out. Flush all the bad vibes out of his system. But it's only gotten worse. I've known Snorpy all my life, but it feels like he's getting further away from me and I just don't know what to do.
One must, in the path of the mother. No, hold on. One does not want one's words to be misinterpreted when one says, that boy needs therapy.
Well, yeah, for sure. And I'm trying to do that. I make sure he's safe, I listen to his problems, I try to help him feel valid, all that stuff.
Chandler, you are strong and wise and wonderful, and you can do everything to support him. But you cannot fix him. Understand? Snorpy is lost in a maze of his own making, and it will take a professional to help him escape.
That's a lot to take in. I need to think about it. Thanks for your wisdom, Shelda.
Thank me when you actually take my advice.
Hey, bro. While I'm still out here, I want to talk to Triffany and Floofty too. There's still more I gotta know, you know?
Indeed. I really do like that scene, especially with Shelda recognizing that Snorpy needs professional help and telling Chandler that he can't take the full responsibility of helping fix Snorpy's problems. It is a surprisingly very mature scene, and I'm glad with the direction they take with it. I want to customize our design here a little bit. Let's give you some tater tot feet, and we'll give you some Pilobite legs. Yeah, that's looking about how I would picture it. thinking we could also give you some pie horns. That's looking pretty good. Complements the burger very nicely. Yeah, I want to try to make our designs incorporate a good deal of both the vanilla content as well as the stuff that gets added in the new update. So we give you a Cinnasnail nose there. And so I know you like the honeybees too, so let's give you the honey teeth. It's kind of funny the way just the globules of teeth there. Alright, and then let's finish up by giving a Mama Melon body. He's definitely looking pretty funky now, but in his own good Chandlo sort of way. Alright, so gotta talk to Triffany and Floofty in order to give guidance to Chandlo. Let's start with Floof Dog.
Oh, I suppose it was only a matter of time. Tell Chandlo I will be with him shortly. Are we here to speak ill of my brother? I will gladly go first. Complaint 1 of 294.
No, that's not why I asked you here. But I do want to talk about Snorpy. He wasn't like this when we were kids, right? I mean, he wasn't always so on edge, was he?
Snorpington has always had his imagination and his moral compass. But no, I suppose he's gotten markedly more distraught since our project's dissolution.
What happened between you two? I mean, I heard some of it from him, but I always wanted to hear your side too. And Snorpy doesn't really like me talking to you.
Oh, I'm aware. I have a pile of threatening letters to that effect. However, I will gladly take this opportunity to set the record straight. We were working together on a government-funded research project. Advanced prosthetics that are 10 times stronger than an ordinary Grumpus. But our dear Snorpington discovered that the government had less than savory plans for that technology. And despite my protestations, he tried to make those plans public knowledge.
Well, yeah, I don't blame him. Even you gotta admit, that's pretty jacked up, dog.
Am I the world's only optimist? That technology would have saved lives. If it must either exist with some consequences or not exist at all, I think the choice is clear.
Easy to say when you aren't the one living with the consequences.
Yeah, where did you come from? Shoo! Unfortunately, Snorpington agreed with you. He tried to play whistleblower, but before he could make a sound, we were both fired. And after that, there was a campaign to slander both of us, to discredit any allegations he might still make.
So, there really was a conspiracy against you two?
If you must call it that. But only the most boring sort with paperwork and lawsuits.
Still, that means it's not all in his head.
Don't mistake justification for reason. Snorpington has moved well beyond the realities of our situation.
All right, Floofty. Thanks for telling me all that.
Happy to have enlightened you. Honestly, I expected this conversation to involve more shouting and headlocks.
Nah, not this time. We're cool. But hey, we should talk more often. And maybe I can show you how to headlock me.
Perhaps. But for now, my work beckons.
Man, that scene adds so much to telling you just why Snorpy is the way he is. And a lot of his history with his sibling and why they distrust each other now. How they were both on this project and things got out of hand for them and they were removed from it in a pretty unsatisfactory way. Also, I like the acknowledgement that they were working on prosthetics, because as we see in the true ending of the game, Floofty eventually gets a prosthetic leg to replace the one they lose over the course of this game. It's a very nice attention to detail that ties things in very nicely. And of course, always nice to see Chandlo finally interacting with Snorpy's sibling. I've been waiting so long for a moment like this. Alright, we have one more Grumpus to talk to close off this section of Chandlo's mission. So let's go talk to Triffany. And while we're there, we can feed her the Klopsteroni we caught earlier. Got that Klopsteroni back there. Leave me alone, Milimochi. I don't want to talk to you at the moment. Yep, there's our archaeologist, and we can see she hasn't made a dent in her project. It's feeding time. I've kind of decided I don't really want the pickle nose anymore, so let's give you some macaroni. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Any luck with the rubble?
Oh, it's not going too good. I'm starting to worry I might never see the inside of this temple.
Maybe Floofty could figure something out.
Knowing them, they'd go and whip up some chemical that dissolves rocks and only takes 3/4 of their blood to make. It's safer for them if I don't ask.
Maybe Shelda knows a secret way in?
Could be. But I don't know that I need even more riddles to solve. Besides, I've heard the sounds her back makes. She could really use a lie down.
Okay, maybe Chandlo could push through.
I don't know, maybe he could. But if I put him in any danger, Snorpy's gonna hear about it. And then I'll hear about it every day for the rest of my life.
Maybe they could all work together to open it.
Oh, I was afraid you'd say that. Sure, teamwork would really help out here. But those grumps can't go more than an hour without starting a big fight, and I just freeze up. You know, I'm an expert in my field and all, but I'm not a management type. It's better if I just concentrate on my work and let them cool off on their own.
You really don't think they can cooperate?
To be honest, no, I don't. These kind of spats, they just fester and grow, and before you know it, civilization collapses. Look, some folks just don't get along. Some mysteries just go unsolved. There's nothing I can really do about it, but at least we gave it a shot. I'll see you back at the camp.
It's kind of an unfortunate way for that quest to end there, but you know, it's progress in its own way. So I guess we technically can't fast travel back to the camp since we're already here. Never mind, ignore that I tried that. Let's go head back to the base camp now. See, there's obviously a lot more puzzles we can do here. I want to save most of this for a bit later, as it's going to tie into some other things we'll be doing soon. So let's head back and then talk to Triffany for Chandlo. You're almost here. Alright, Triffy. Chandlo wants to talk to you.
Oh, I'm happy to chat with Chandlo. Let's meet by the campfire.
Alright, let's do this.
What's going on, Chandlo?
Triffany, you know about history and, like, ancient societies and stuff. Shelda said Snorpy's lost in a maze of delusion. But what if it's not a delusion? What if there really is a Grumpinati?
Well, I've done some research on my own, and near as I can tell, there's no such thing. At least not in the way you see in the movies. There's no shadowy cabal secretly in control of the world. Real conspiracies can happen. And heck, there was an old literary society called the Grumpinati, but aside from the name, it's not at all what Snorpy talks about.
Are you sure? I mean, I've seen Snorpy's charts, and they kind of make sense.
Kinda is the important word here, though. Look, there are points of data on that chart that are real, but it's all those strings between them that are made up.
No, those are real. We got them from Gramble.
I like that line.
Oh, that's not... what I
Let it go, my child.
point is, Snorpy might be a talented engineer, but he's no historian, and he's certainly not immune to bias, you know?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I hope you're right. Thanks for talking to me, Triff Dog.
No problem. And if you ever want to know more about failed conspiracies throughout history, you know where to find me.
It's definitely an interesting conversation there. I do like that we get a little background into the reasons of why Snorpy has these big fears about conspiracies and stuff. As well as getting to know that there was a Grumpunani, but it's not at all what Snorpy thinks it is. So yep, a lot of nice little details there. So, what are we gonna do now?
Bro, I feel like there's a huge weight on top of me, and it's not the kind I can lift. Snorpy never would have come to Snaktooth if I didn't push him into it. All I do now is make him exercise and ignore all the stuff I don't understand. Shelda's right. I don't know enough to really help him. And thinking I do is only making it worse. I'm gonna stay here. Until everybody's ready anyway. I need some time to just think.
Well, he may not have grown physically, but Chandlo has certainly matured from this adventure here. Again, I really do like this whole DLC adventure, and what it does for Chandlo and add on to the story that is already set up in the base game, it's fantastic. I can't get enough of it. With that said, we are about done with most of the stuff we can do in the base camp at the moment. We've helped out Triffany and Chandlo. We got plenty of time before we are ending things off in this session, so how about we get started on Floofty next? What's going on, Floof Dog?
This shrinking spice intrigues me. What substance could produce such a pronounced effect on Bugsnax? From what I observe, it was manufactured by ancient Grumpuses, so surely it'll be simple to recreate.
They seem pretty advanced, actually.
Oh, please. Bring an ancient Grumpus to the present and they'd be utterly lost. Anything they can do, I can do fundamentally better. Frivolities aside, I require a sample of shrink spice for study. Bring a specimen here and place it into my trough.
Alright there, Floofty, we'll get started on that. Pretty simple mission, since we already have a sample of shrink spice here. Let's go and bring this over. Got plenty of time to get this one done. And let's drop it in here. I technically brought the powder.
It seems this substance becomes quite volatile when removed from its origin. A flaw in its design, perhaps. How troublesome. I may need to employ a more direct method of study. By which I mean, bring another sample here and throw it at me before it combusts.
Isn't that dangerous?
I am wearing goggles, aren't I? Since the spice causes no apparent harm to Bugsnax, I am reasonably certain that I will be fine.
Okay, if they say it's gonna be fine, then I guess they'll be fine. Let's go grab some more shrink spice and throw it at Floofty. Heads up!
Ah, the goggles! They do nothing! Ah. If you couldn't tell, that was rather unpleasant. However, having experienced that, I have learned two very important facts. One, the substance does not work on Grumpuses. Two, I should not do that again. I am no closer to obtaining a usable sample of shrink spice. However, I believe we may learn something from the local Bugsnax. Use the shrink spice to capture one Chedorb and one Millimochi. Then transform me with those specimens.
Well, look on the bright side, Floofty. At least you didn't try to cut your own head off, right? Yeah, I really love that scene. Obviously, the goggles they do nothing line is a reference to The Simpsons. And what a good reference it is. Alright, let's get started on this mission. So we got to shrink down a Chedorb and a Millimochi and then feed them to Floofty. Let's get started on the Chedorb here. So once the Chedorb gets freed, it will be roaming all around the perimeter of the island. And then it's a simple matter of trying to free this guy. Hey, bud, could you not do that, please? Just kind of being a pain here, bud. Get this set up. And I want to try to push this guy out with our... You know what? I don't think we actually need the trip shot for that. We should be able just to have Sprout push this guy in here. There we go. There's a Chedorb captured. So now we need a Millimochi. Luckily, we have one over here. So how are we gonna deal with this guy's icy aura so that we can actually capture it? Well, there is a source of fire back at the campsite. So let's go grab that. And while we're in the campsite, we can go ahead and turn Floofty's hand into Chedorb. Since you've requested so.
Chedorb.
Unbelievable.
It's a nice look there. Let's not experiment and even out the arm a tad. Let's give you a big old cheese arm. Alright, so in order to get this Millimochi, we need to bring a fire source over to where the Millimochi is roaming, which is going to require transferring some flame across the various burners we see all across the island. Oh, we got Chedorb already back here now that we fed it. And those things just pop up all the time and try to get in your way. That's okay. They're not that much of a hazard. Let's bring the torch over here. And from here, there's another torch that we can also hit. Let's bring that flame over there. So that extinguished those guys. So while they're stunned, we can go over here, grab this shrink spice, and then get back to the Millimochis. No, they've already they put themselves back to normal. Let's throw the spice and capture these buggers.
Millimochi.
So we technically got 3 of these guys, because before they are a cluster of Bugsnax all put together. So definitely appreciate having all of that now. Set up this torch here, so we can get a few more of these lit up for later. And there were a few more of those... There's a few more things that we could light up inside this cave where the Pilobite is, so let us ignite a couple things here. So now they got that big bonfire lit. Can light up that over there. And by lighting all the torches, this door opens up. Pilobite could just leave me alone here. This room is quite unlike anything we have seen on the island. And there's a key here. A strange triangular key. What sort of space might this open? Is quite a mystery indeed. So we can see that after we picked up the key, we got a new letter. So I want to pop by the mailbox at some point and use that to get that. And in order to check on what that letter was, We'll find a use for that key some point in the future, don't worry. Alright, but now that we got this guy, let us go feed the Millimochis to Floofty and see what they have to say after that.
Millimochi?
Alright, so gotta turn your leg.
Oh,
Bye, Strabby Foot.
Decently competent work. Unfortunately, any remnants of the spice seem to have been digested, but this too yields interesting results. In their shrunken state, the Bugsnax here are not fundamentally different from those on Snaktooth proper.
Why do they grow so big?
I am still forming my hypotheses, but I presume the process is endemic to this island, and the spice was created to inhibit it.
That's definitely a theory. Are there any side effects?
None beyond the usual. After all, Chandler ate a Bunga Royale as soon as we arrived, and he seems alive and well.
That's a good point. You said this be simple.
It will be simple. I am merely exhausting every avenue of study. It's called being thorough. Look it up. Now, I've observed chocolants capable of maintaining a small size. This may present a more stable vessel for the spice. Regrettably, I must not eat it, delicious though it may be. So, bring one to my science trough, please.
Alright, so we got a new mission to bring a chocolant to Floofty. Before we do this, I want to go into the snack experiment and even you out a bit. Let's give you another Millimochi segment for your leg. Actually, it looks very colorful. Never had mochi myself, but I've always wanted to. And how about we feed the remainder of these mochis we got?
Oh.
That's actually kind of a good look for you. Let's add another Millimochi on the other side. That definitely looks fun. And how about we give this other Millimochi to Shelda? As you may have noticed, there is another box of purity here in the campsite. And of course, any bug snack that you put into the box of purity, Shelda will secretly eat, adding another bug snack part to her body. So that is how you're able to transform Shelda with the various bug snacks you catch here. Before we move forward and catching this chocolant, I do want to catch a Spagiter before we end things off in this session. They're not required for any of the missions readily available on the island, but we are going to want to catch one for later, so let's go ahead and do that. So the Spagiters are interesting. They will use their spaghetti threads in order to grapple anything they see and lure it over to them. So we put the shrink spice down. There's a good chance this guy would be able to grab it. Perhaps if we cheese it up, because these guys do like cheese. Yep, so now that's holding the shrink spice. We just need to wait for it to explode. We'll set up our trip shot here. And there we go. It shrinks down. And while it's like that, we can use the trip shot to knock this guy down. Alright, while you're stunned, we should be able to grapple you. And that is how you can get a Spagiter. Again, you don't need to catch these guys for any of the missions on the island, but you are going to want to catch one, especially if you're looking to fill up the Snackopedia. Alright, so we need to go get a chocolant. We saw a few of those up near the temple when we first awakened, well, when we first caught a Celestix for Chandlo. And in the process, we knocked the chocolants off of the body of the Celestix. So we got these guys to handle. The chocolants are pretty simple to capture. All we need to do is get them with the shrink spice. And this guy's down. Just need to get him in the trap. We can lure you in with some chocolate, I believe. Hey, Celestix, could you not do that? Wow, you launched that really far, dude. Oh, look at him. He's doing the stick bug dance. I got stick bugged. So what is with you, dude? Oh, this guy actually hates the trap. That's why he's doing that. Oh, but he managed to stun the Chocolate. Let's go ahead and catch that guy. So, funny story about this particular mission when I first played this on my own time. I kind of misinterpreted this mission the first time I did this, and I thought that I had to directly lure a Chocolate all the way to the base camp and launch it into Floofty's trow, when what we're supposed to do is just catch one, and then we can just simply add it in over here. So yeah, I was a real idiot the first time I did this, and I hope to God nobody else made that same blunder. Well, I hadn't seen anyone do that in any of the streams of Bugsnax that I have seen lately, so who knows. So, right, let's go ahead and talk to you now that we got that.
At last, a viable sample. Now I can extract the powder and finally put this mystery to rest. This requires my utmost concentration, and you ask far too many questions. You may return when I found my answer.
Okay. So now we simply have to return to Floofty later in order to get that mission done. But given our current time right now, I think this is a good time to end things off here. We've already made some excellent progress here on the island of Broken Tooth, managed to capture a good chunk of the Bugsnax that can be caught here. We still have a few others to do, but we'll focus on those as we go forward. And we still got some more missions to accomplish here. So, yep, that's where we are going to be ending things on this session of Bugsnax. Next time, we'll be continuing our investigation on Broken Tooth and see what we're able to find further into the island. Until next time, have a good night and keep snacking, dog!